Everybody, everybody, everybody needs a living wage. Oh, to get them through, everybody.
My name is John Avalos. I'm running for mayor in San Francisco.
Woo-hoo!
And I want to thank Vicki and John for opening up your home for me. And also Vicki and John for being there when my wife and I went down to the Department of Elections and signed up to run for mayor. It was nice to have you there and have some support there. I think that was my first campaign contribution as well.
You're taking away my pitch.
And you guys, I can do it again. You guys maxed out, so that meant a lot to me, especially because I've worked a number of years with Vicki. Vicki helped tremendously to help Chris Daly get elected in 2006. And I know a lot of people are thanking you and hating you for that, I think, in San Francisco. I'm running for mayor because I want to fundamentally change how the city works. And I believe that we have a city that, even to this day, works with the wheels greased coming from downtown San Francisco. The wheels that are greased with the people who have the most money, have the most power in influencing what happens at City Hall. People give a lot of lip service to open government, to transparency, to civic participation, and including people in how we make our decision making. And I think it's a lot of lip service. And I don't believe anyone at City Hall has been quite as inclusive or open with how we make our decisions than I have at City Hall. Whether I was working for Supervisor Chris Daly on the budget or on legislation, or working as supervisor in my office, it's bringing people to the table and crafting our policy from the ideas that come from community members, and listening to what community members' problems are and how we can translate problems into policies that can really improve San Francisco. I've worked on a number of issues over the years. Last year, I authored our local hire ordinance in construction. It's an ordinance that actually is about how when we make our investments with our local tax dollars to build new municipal buildings, like the new public safety center that'll go on 3rd Street, or new rec and park facilities, or new firehouses that are going to get renovated, or new waste treatment plants that'll go in, I think, in Bayview Hunters Point, and we can actually use our tax dollars to hire local San Franciscans. And then when on the end of the day a worker can get a job, goes home and has their money in the pocket, everybody's staying in San Francisco and is going to San Francisco businesses and staying in neighborhoods and keeping our tax base as healthy as it can be. Well, that legislation didn't come from my idea. It didn't come from just me deciding one day that I'm going to do legislation called local hire. No, it came from a community struggling for years, not having access into the construction industry, not having access into the unions that do the construction work, from contractors, wanting to, reach a mandate or a guideline from San Francisco about hiring local residents, but not having a mechanism for that to happen. For department heads who are being held accountable to hire local San Franciscans, but not having a mechanism to do that. And we worked in San Francisco. It wasn't my office, but it was my office working with communities in the Asian community, Latino community, African American community, the white community, Filipino community, from contractors, big and small, Latino contractors, Asian American contractors, to really put this legislation together. That's the kind of work I've done at City Hall. And what's really amazing about this city is that, it's an amazing place. It's a beacon of light for a lot of people in this country, a lot of people in the world. They come to San Francisco for opportunity, or they live here believing they can have opportunity. It's a place you can invent and reinvent yourself. And I found that, that was my experience as well. I came to San Francisco in 1989. I had $1,000 in my pocket. I had 3 people I knew. One of them lived across from Cafe La Boheme here on 24th Street. I spent 3 weeks sleeping on her floor, not even a couch, and she got tired of me being there. I had to find a place to live. At that time, it was a little bit easier to find a place. I got my first apartment on Hayden Webster Street, $625 a year. I split with my friend who I came up with. I was able to eke a living for about 5 years before finding a career path that led me into politics. That's something that attracts, that's the same experience that many people have in this city. And some people who have very few resources end up on the street. People who have resources are able to find, a pathway like I had. I had resources, I had education to rely on. I had, people I knew, I had parents who could give me money if I fell in hard times. And all those things happened to me. And I want to make sure that this city has the opportunity, provides opportunity for everyone, and that people who, regardless of what your background is, that you can have that opportunity. And we don't have enough of it. The things I care about are public schools, from the child care centers to this Unified School District, or City College in San Francisco State, how we can make sure that we can have the kind of education that can lead into career paths that are going to be very, very meaningful people. I want to make sure that we have all the newcomers that come to San Francisco, the people who are artists, who are techies, who have like incredible amount of creativity, are able to be able to find a city that really thrives and supports their creativity, that encourages their talents, that embraces who they are and how they can make contributions to their communities and neighborhoods. We had a forum last week that I went to Bruce with all these techies coming together about all these great talents they have around programming and looking at information and data and how they can use that data to be able to create new ways that the city can render services in San Francisco. So all these techies that want to do that. I just heard about a program in New York City where you have you teach people, just everyday residents, how to trim trees and trim plants. And they become this whole volunteer force that helps to do all the work that the city has no ability to do, is to upkeep our trees, upkeep our parks. We need to be able to create these kind of partnerships with the talents that we have here, with the great, incredible belief in civic participation that is San Francisco. I mean, San Francisco is a place where people really get involved in government, and we put way too many barriers in people's participation in what this city government can do. I want to open the doors even further than I already have at City Hall. I want to make sure that people can really have that opportunity to not just give their ideas, but see their ideas turn into something that's meaningful change in this city. And that's what I believe that this campaign, my campaign, stands for in San Francisco, that we could actually encourage this greater participation. And it's not just a candidacy that's about me getting to City Hall, getting to room 200, because I'm frightened as hell about getting to that office and what the hell I'm going to do. I need the support of all kinds of people who, how we can channel the talents and channel their experiences into meaningful change in San Francisco. I would love to have your help and your support to make that happen. I'm interested in affordable housing, and I'm interested in affordable housing that is not just about housing for the lowest income people, but I want to look at our middle class as well. In our discussions around affordable housing construction, there's not any discussion really. There's been a real barrier to having a discussion about single-family homeowners in this city. I represent a part of San Francisco that is 65% single-family homeowners. And I'm not afraid to say that we need to be supporting single-family homeowners. But when you make your decisions around affordable housing, that's just about apartments. And I think that we build affordable housing, the great preponderance needs to be apartments. We still need to figure out the people who are going to be paying for that affordable housing. We're doing an affordable housing bond. There needs to be something there for them as well. So coming from the southern part of San Francisco that has commonality with the Sunset District, with Lakeview District, Visitation Valley, with Bayview Hunters Point, where there's a huge amount of home ownership as well, we need to figure out how to do affordable housing that's inclusive of all of our different levels of our income levels in San Francisco. And we have a foreclosure crisis in San Francisco. People don't talk about it. I think it's a Modesto, a Stockton thing. It's a foreclosure crisis that's here in this city. And it's happening in my neighborhood, all the neighborhoods I just referenced. And until and we're losing our wealth. We have a family that's owned a home, it's been in the same family for generations, and then when the eldest people die off, the family has no ability to keep that house in their hands, keep that wealth in their hands. They sell the house, they leave town. Latinos, African American families leave town, and we have nothing else but a family that's replacing them, who deserves to have a house as well, but is changing the makeup and the diversity of our city. We can do better than that. We have to figure out how to keep our diversity. I want to figure out how we can have our housing program really encourage single-family homeowners as well, while supporting our low-income people here in this city. And that's a vision I think that we haven't had, recently when we try to pass these housing bonds. We've not been able to pass a housing bond for the past 2 times we've done it. We haven't done it since '95. And we're in desperate need of trying to figure out how to do that. And just, I know we're never gonna build enough housing alone to serve all the people who need housing, but if you're able to stabilize the single-family homeowners whose property values are shrinking and going down, we're able to maintain some wealth in the city that's gonna be able to maintain our tax base and our ability to provide rec and park services and education and senior services and all the things that make San Francisco a livable city. And I won't go on much longer, but the other thing I wanna do is, I wanna make San Francisco a livable city for all of our generations. We are losing families in the city. I'm a family that's chosen. I have 2 kids. My wife's a public school teacher. We have kids in public school. I wanna be with all the other families that are in the public school system. You know, white families, African American families, Latino families who are choosing to stay in San Francisco. We need to be able to say, I believe San Francisco is a good place for families to remain. We need to make San Francisco a better place for families. And I find San Francisco a wonderful city to live in as families. But we're hearing the whole tenor of the discussion, the Chronicle's already reporting on it, that families don't like San Francisco. San Francisco's not a good place for families. We need to change that. I think an administration that really comes from communities like the Excelsior, that has a citywide focus as well, but from the perspective of the southern part of San Francisco, can really change the outlook for families in this city. And that's something that is really, I think, what I bring that's very different from other people. So I'll go on, I'll just say that. I didn't know where I was going to end up with my discussion, didn't know where I was going to start, went all over the place. And thank you for your patience and your listening. I would love to have your support for my candidacy. This campaign has only been about 9 weeks in running. Before that, we didn't have a thing in place, not a cent raised. I didn't have any campaign staff. I have 2 campaign staff now. I'm trying to find a campaign office. I'm going to hire a couple new staff probably next week or the week after. And I'm really excited though about what we can do, what this campaign can do. Early on, we get signs up all over the city. We're starting to reach out to the further neighborhoods from the downtown core. We're on the roll. We're on the move. Ain't no stopping us now, but we have to start picking up the speed. I'd love to have your support in that effort. Thank you.
Okay, you guys, you know the pitch. I know John. John know each other from the Gonzalez campaign. And I met John as a pink and a green. And I would go into Chris's office and go, I need this legislation. And John would help. Impeach Bush and Cheney. There's my man.
We did it. We did it.
And I would go, John, we're doing this and blah, 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 blah. And he'd go, I can't go. I work for the people. And I was so mad at him, but he was right. And when we were doing a Code Pink thing down at Union Square one day, and I said, can you come? And he said, no, I can't leave. I work for the people. I've got work I've got to do in the office. And I was mad, and then I thought, he works for the people. And that kind of stuck with me through all the years. And it's been a lot of years. And when we heard that John was going to run for mayor, the first time ever in our life, we looked at each other and said, how much can we write a check for? And we sat there and we wrote a check for the max amount, each of us, on one check, signed with both of our names, that we brought to John when he took out his papers. This is the first time we ever did a thing like that. Probably never happen again. But my John loves this John. I fully respect this John. You all know I'm further to the left. He's far more moderate than I am. But honest, integrity, what are the things we look for? I want us to make money for John's campaign. I don't want him taking money from people that I can't stand, or that I hate, or that are corporations, or that are people that we don't want owning our mayor. We want our mayor. So I want to encourage you, whether it's $5, $50, $500, or $500 each, please do what you can so we have a mayor that's our mayor. So whether you're the vice president of the Teamsters, 856, or you're my former boss,
And a resident of San Francisco.
or you're my neighbor, $5, $50, $25, $500, That's what makes a campaign, it's all of us together, all of us for Avalos. I think I've heard that before. Oh, and matching funds, don't forget, right now, what are you, 1 for 4?
We are 4 to 1.
4 to
Yes,
1.
4.
$5 is 20. 500 is $2,000.
Matching funds.
Come on. write
$5
this
is
check.
actually 25 total. You get the
And
five.
it's-
Well, you get the
and
5
that's
plus
till
the- right.
June 30th.
So who's matching?
The city.
Yeah, we're,
Matching
and
funds.
what's
right,
really
right.
important right
Oh,
now
okay.
is
This
that
is, this is so
our-
that people like John can run against people who are getting money from their East Coast associates.
Voter under election.
Yes, so we
I-
are the people.
Although, I may, just to be in full disclosure, I may get, I used to live in the East Coast. I have
So
family.
did I.
So I could be getting contributions from the East Coast.
Bless you.
But I'm getting contributions from, San Francisco first and foremost, but the people who
See,
reach out
honest
to
and
me.
integrity, you just can't win with this guy.
Only donations
but-
from local
but-
residents qualify for matching
For
funds.
matching
Yes,
funds.
only
But we
local.
have a deadline coming up. The deadline is, we have a filing period that ends on June 30th. And so all of our donations that come in before June 30th are gonna be up online to see, not necessarily who donated, but how much was donated. And all of our campaigns are gonna be measured on how much we've raised. And we're gonna be seen as how viable we are by how much we've raised, bless you. So if, I'm trying to get as many contributions as we can get in this campaign by June 30th, so that when we file, we report how much we've earned, we were able to show that we can compete with Lee McGee, with Dennis Herrera, with David Chu, with all the other folks who are in the race. And from that, it's going to encourage other people to support this campaign and keep it moving. So if you believe in government that really should be open, the government's going to involve your input, your decision-making, and it's going to be down to the neighborhood level where I live and where I come from and where my perspective comes from, this is a good time to donate right now. I'd love to have your support.
Oh, I want to remind people, maximum donation is $500 if it's a check. If it's cash, it's $99 and you cannot give change for $100.
Not give change for.
You cannot give change for $100 legally. It has to be in your money under $100. So there are envelopes that if you want to take with you and write your full check later, you can do that. But we'd be more than glad to take your under $99 cash, under $100 cash donation.
We want the envelopes back before the 30th.
Yeah, or you can drop it off here, we'll make sure John gets
Folks
it.
can also donate online at Avalos for Mayor.
Everybody needs a living wage. Oh, to get 'em through. Everybody needs a living wage. See that single mom over there. See the senior with the blue gray hair. Immigrant laborer in home care. All the workers you see everywhere. Everybody, come on, everybody needs a living wage. Oh, to get 'em through. Everybody needs a living wage. It's not enough to give someone some pay. You gotta keep the landlord away. You gotta have food for the kids today. And keep the bill collectors at bay. Everybody needs a living wage. Oh, to get 'em through. Everybody needs a living wage. We're gonna fight until they cannot stop. We're gonna fight until the mighty fall. Until the wealth is in the hands of all. Until the poor, they are walking tall. Everybody, come on, everybody needs a living wage. Oh, to get it through. Everybody needs a living wage. Last verse. Corporate greed has kept us all so down, but we're gonna turn it all around. Sing it loud if you know the sound. So many voices no longer bound. Everybody, come on. Everybody, everybody needs a living wage. Oh, to get it through, to get it through. Everybody needs a living wage. Everybody needs a living wage. Everybody needs a living wage. Come on! Everybody needs a living wage.